So I got a call to come and tidy this graveyard up, which I was very pleased about, because obviously, number one, it's work, but number two, I like something that is going to give me something to get my teeth stuck into, and where you can see a massive difference. And this is going to be a massive difference. This small area here with the flowers is recently being used. That's getting used at the moment. It's all got to be smart, but that has got to be smart because people are visiting. There's less visitors to the other graves. Some of them are dating back to the 1800s, but I suppose you still have relatives, and a few of them still did have flowers on. But obviously less visitors are going to use that section. And I'm just going to walk around the area at the moment to just see what we're going to do. All the hard surfaces will have weed killer put on. And there's some massive graves, tombs here. If they're called tombs, I don't know if that's the right word. Are they sarcophagus? I'm not sure, but you know, they must have been rich in their day. Okay, let's get on with strimming it down. And this is the front bit of the church, like near the main entrance. So I'm assuming that this half of the graveyard has been done. When I say recently, you know, maybe late last year or early this year. But the far end of the graveyard, I mean, that's really twice the size, maybe 3 times the size in length of the grass. So I think someone has had a little tickle of this. Maybe Ken Dodd. Ken Dodd actually lived about 200, as you're looking at the camera now, over in that far corner, Ken Dodd's house is about 200 yards away. And sadly he's died. But while I was doing this job, a couple of people came in and asked me, has he been buried in there? So I don't know. I'll have to ask myself, because I'd like to know. I mean, I know Ken Dodd's dad's dog's dead. And I've decided that because I've not done this graveyard before, even though some of these areas, the grass area is quite large, I could probably get the mower in. I didn't want to start getting the mower in and then getting the strimmer and then getting the mower in. I just wanted to go over the whole graveyard with the strimmer. I mean, it's done a great job, but I've just used, most of the graveyard, because while I'm talking to you now, narrating it, I've already done the job, obviously. So later on I do use a mower, but only when I've been over the area, as you'll see in the video, with the strimmer, and really looked for any hidden stones or any hidden graves, which there was plenty on the other half. And here again, using the strimmer, I don't want to sort of tell you what to do or teach you how to suck eggs or anything like that, but I've noticed on other videos, people, when they're using a strimmer, they don't use as big a strokes as possible as you can. And if you see there, I'm really stretching round, and it makes a massive difference. If you only turn, say, from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock an area, and then you go from 3 o'clock to 3 o'clock, you know, 180 degrees, you're gonna do sort of like twice the area in half the time. So I know most looking at this will know that, but just if there's a few that don't, you really give it a nice even sweep, steady sweep, but as big as you can. And if you notice on most strimmers, if not all, the bars that you hold, they're kinked so that one can, when the strimmer bends, the handlebars don't hit you. They're kinked so that they fit into your waist or your hips. You'll know. Have a look at this when you see it in a sec. And that's so you get full swing. This grave, it surprised me because I'm not too up on my maze of Liverpool, but this chap was in the army. I can't quite read that because I'm only doing it on my phone, but he was made of Liverpool. So I'd like to get this grave as in a lawn, no weeds, no nothing. So you can all have a good look at it now and see, well, the whole site, you can see what it's like. Full of weeds and overgrown. This is like, it's a rose garden with a hedge around it. So obviously we'll be licking this into shape. But for now, I don't know what's there, you see. So I'm just going to do the best I can, get it down and take it from there. We have got the maintenance on it. Now this is the end of the first day. It was only half a day. I didn't get there till 2 o'clock. So I'm just going to clean up now. It's about 6 o'clock and I'll just clean it up because it's open tomorrow. So I can't start the next day as well till I think she said 12. So I'll just make this slightly more presentable before I go. These big, large graves on the left here, one of them was cracked and I could see through the crack, one of the tops had moved. And there must have been a hole in there that looks about 8 feet deep. I'm going to shine a torch in there. It was quite chilling really because I was standing on them while I was working away and I won't be standing on them again because that was really a big drop inside and I didn't think they were going to be empty. But I'd hate to think if there was anything in there as well. So I've got so far now, but from here where I got to, it really does go different. It really, look at the grass, it's so different, so long. And I just don't know what's in there. But as long as this used area is done. I was only using the big strimmer. I wasn't using the little still strimmer, but I will do in future just to go around them. It's a little bit more handy. This area, I've just gone round all the edge, around any obstacles in the wall and things and trees, and ready to take the mower. As I say, when I know I can get the mower in, I'll get the mower in, and I can do that large area. This is the next day now. Going to be the second half. What I'm planning on doing is doing as much as I can with this trimmer, but I'm just going to go around any obstacle that I find. You can see the grass is much longer and wetter. It's soaking wet. It's weird because obviously the headstones are sticking up, and then suddenly there'd be the outline of graves on the floor. You can't see them at all, and then there'll be crosses like this, and quite big as well once you start uncovering them. I mean, the job really was a two-man job, or even more. They used to have it done by the probation service. So I don't know how many of them there was, but you could probably guess there'd be about, what, 6 people, maybe more. And that brings me to another point about pricing. When everybody asks how much for this and how much for that, and I'm afraid, again, I'm going to reiterate, you're just going to have to find your own price out. I get it wrong sometimes. Other people get it wrong. It's hard to get it right. There's no right and wrong. But the point I'm going to make is, when I came to price this job, I had a price in my mind and how long it's going to take me in my mind. And then she told me they used to get it done by the probation service, which was free. And I just thought automatically, you can't compete with free if you're running a business. So I was up against that when I was given the price, but I had to stick to my guns. I had to work out what I thought I needed, and I went for it. And luckily enough, as you can see, I got the job. And hopefully, I've been told I've got the maintenance, but you know, you never know. There's got to be a church meeting yet, so fingers crossed we've got the maintenance. This strimmer does a great job as well. It has been a good strimmer. I mean, it didn't fault here. It has done a good job. It's the FCO DS 4300 TL, I think it is. So, and it's a brush cutter stroke strimmer, whereas some are just strimmers, so they'll just take grass down. Whereas this is a heavy duty one, so it's for brush cutting as well. A bit heavier. It does come with a blade. I mean, you can see there how tall the grass is. And it was even taller than that as it got further down the graveyard. And I'll just say hello to me mate Jeff Fleet, who turned up at the beginning of this day when I was there. Brought me a little gift, little bag of Maltesers. So I had them with a cup of coffee before I started. Thanks, Jeff. this won't take long, and then you actually look up and you think, yeah, there's little graves pop. No surprise, I am in a graveyard. But oh, what's that? What the? Oh my god! No. So as you can see, it's getting a bit longer down this end. I do think it's just guesswork, but I do think they've had someone to do the front at an earlier stage, and they just didn't get around to doing this bit. I mean, this is just, that looks like it's 4 feet tall, if not more. But the strimmer took it all in its stride. As I say, it looks like I'm going willy-nilly there, but I'm going around each headstone or any stone that I can find. So obviously when I do try and get in with the mower, I'm obviously not going to hit anything. So time for the shaper mower. This is the shaper rough cut. As you can see there on the close-up, it is quite long, but it doesn't look long from this long shot. There's a lot of war graves in this cemetery, and it just makes you think. Some of the lads who died were only 18. I ran up there like a little youngster. The mower works well on this long grass. Obviously, that's what it's built for. But I use it on the bank, which it's not doing a bad job, but on this particular video there, it looks like I'm struggling, but I actually hit, not with the blade, but with the mower, a piece of sandstone from one of the graves. I can't see it being a grave on the hill like that. I think someone's just put it there in the past. But I sort of struggled to get past it. And that's why I look like I'm struggling with the mower. It's not the actual mower. Just going around a massive big piece of sandstone. So you can actually see the bits where I've left and where I've gone round the graves. And when I was doing that, I thought, well, I haven't left much, but it still took me a good while to go over it with the mower. There's a lot more than what you think, and this is the thing with every job. You seem to think, well, I'll be an hour, or I'll be half a day, or I'll be a day. If you think it's going to be a day, it's usually 2. If you think it's going to be half a day, it's usually a day, etc., etc. And because I've gone round so many graves, I thought I hadn't left much grass, but it still took its toll. But I think everyone watching this now will agree, even now, just this first cut, it's 10 times better, 50 times better. At least you can see the graveyard, you can see the graves. I mean, like I said a minute ago, hopefully we've got the maintenance on it. I've been told to have. If we have, I can't wait to get it in order. But again, it depends how often they want us to go. If you're turning up every 4 or 6 weeks or even more, longer, there's no way you could get it down and keep it neat. Even though it's not a lawn, if it's grass, 2 weeks really is maximum for it. But there's no way they're going to pay someone to go over that area every 2 weeks. And that's the predicament you're in. And can I, while I'm at it, while I'm just talking, can I just do some self-promoting? If this is the first time you've watched one of our videos, if you're watching for the first time, thanks very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you watch it. Don't skip it. And obviously, even if it's not your first time, try and look at some of our back catalogue of videos. There's literally hundreds. I was going to say hundreds, but it is literally hundreds. But the point I'm making is, why I'm asking is, I look myself, sometimes I go through my old videos, I even look at them sometimes, and I've noticed that the views aren't very high on them, and I'm thinking they are of interest to certain people. And the reason why I'm saying that, I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I know by the comments I'm getting from my videos now about, you know, what they liked and what they, you know, what interested them. So I know what's on the other videos will be of interest, and you will like it. So, you know, take a look at them. Just throw a dart in the list and then pick one, choose one. But have a look, do have a look. Don't just wait until we just get the next video up. There's plenty there. Well, that's it for its first cut and its tidy up. I think you'll agree it's definitely better. It isn't great, it isn't perfect, but no one, you know, I didn't promise it was going to be perfect. I said it will be taken down, and I think you'll agree that is. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you've been alright putting up with me for all this time. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Just subscribe, come along, join us, and we'll look forward to having you. And I'll see you all on the next video.